In this case, it's a healed one, so it's got a nice balance of fat to meat ratio. We split the animal between the 12th and 13th rib. Between the 12th and 13th rib. For this right here. So you can see that beautiful marbling that's in the meat. You see all those little specks of white inside there? We call that marbling. Another term for it is intermuscular fat. Not subcutaneous. Subcutaneous is the fat that's on the outside. So this one determines the grade. Gentlemen, just make sure I don't drop this. All right, let's start taking this apart. All right, so our first cut, what does it say? There's our first cut. You're on the hind quarter. Leg steak. Are we on?
No.
Are we on the hind quarter?
We're on the rib shaft.
Sorry. All right, so where's the dividing line for the rib?
4 to 5 between 2, 3, 4 here.
Just after the 5th rib, right? So we've got a straight cut just after the 5th rib separates the rib and plate from the chuck. So it separates this in half. So exactly where you showed me, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I make a straight cut through here, cuts off the rib section like so. So that's a bone, I go beside it. Do you know that the first surgeons were butchers? Do you know why? How fast they were with the saw. So you've got, at a time when there wasn't any anesthetics, you have to amputate someone's leg. Ow! 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 Here, bite on a piece of wood. So I'm cutting through here is the backbone. So we've got the chine bone that runs along here. Chine bone connects up to the neck on this side. On this side, they're called the feather bones. Why should I have all the fun? Okay, you want it up?
Yeah.
So the idea when you're using a saw is you're not going to put a lot of pressure on it. You're going to let the saw do the work itself. What you want instead is this kind of movement like that. And you're listening, and that should be good. So we'll get that, pull that out. Got a quick check.
Thank you.
So, what we have now is the chuck. We have the brisket. We have the foreshank. Here we have the rib plate combo. So those of you who learned how to speak English by watching cartoons, the Flintstones, at the beginning of the Flintstones, we have this. It's on top of the car. It's the rib plate combo. So, yeah, it is. 2 hours of good time. Now, so we're going to split the plate off from the rib. 4 finger widths below the eye of a rib connected to it. 25 millimeters from the bone on the chuck end. This separates the rib from the plate. All right. Very scientific. Right? Put your hand up. No, I'm not going to touch it. So you can see the difference with my 4 fingers as opposed to, let's say, Sarah's. Yeah. What we're looking for here, it all depends on what we're doing. So the practicality of doing sides of beef is this. If you're doing sides of beef, and maybe you're cutting something specific for your restaurant or where you're working. So for example, there's what's called a tomahawk steak, where we leave the rib bones about that long. Big long bones, and then we cut steaks like this. Right? I don't have the clientele for that. I don't have a market for that. I can't sell that. So instead, we're going to cut just a nice rib. So I'll go 4 finger widths from here. I'll make a mark. Now, this is the chuck end. Right? Because that's where the chuck was. I'm going to spin this towards you. Watch out. So we've got the chuck end. So this is the chuck, the brisket, foreshank. That makes up all 5. So we've got that. From here we go down straight and then 25 millimeters. Some arbitrary number. I just kind of look to see where the eye of the muscle is and then just make my cut from there. So we've got what's called the eye, rib eye. This is right now just a rib, but if we take this muscle off, it then becomes a rib eye. Connect the dots straight across, like that. One twist. And now you get the long chest squat again. Ow, 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 ow. I did forget to mention that this animal was slaughtered according to the methods used in halal, which is the traditional methods of Islam, which means the animal was bled out. They slit its throat and they bled it out. As opposed to hitting it with a stun gun in the brain. You do not want to crack the bones. Because we don't want bone splinters. You can hear it starts to sound like it's tearing. Well, it is. Anybody have short ribs before?
Yes, chef.
Slices on a bandsaw. Get nice, beautiful short ribs. You also take short ribs from here also, and we can take it from any of the rib sections.